Alright guys, again, using a webcam, have not gotten the hang of the lights here. It's Afterburn again. I know, it's so shocking, I've done 2 videos in a relatively short amount of time, but this is a follow-up to the last video, and the last video, as you know, was Jedi Master Revan. And I know what you're probably thinking, how could this be an update or a part 2? You've already covered him, what's going on? Well, my good buddy Kev Stryker, who has been on my channel before, we put some backstory to this. He and I have been friends since we were 7, and a couple of years ago, I think it was a couple of years ago. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I purchased something for him for his birthday that I knew he would want, and as I've mentioned in the previous video, I was kicking myself for not getting one of my own. And now they're impossible to find. And if I do find them, they're like $45, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. Kev Stryker has graciously allowed me to put the Darth Revan I purchased for him on YouTube. I review it, but it stays his. And now I can finally do the what I was hoping for with the last video. So anyways, yep, it's the Darth version of Revan. In the Black Series rankings, he is number 34. So yeah, they're up in the hundreds now. You know, if they do them in waves of like 7 or 8, 8 or 9, I think it's more like 8. Yeah, they're doing them 8 at a time, and this was only a couple of years ago, like 2 at most. So the fact that they're up to over 100 now, and that's not including one-off figures, which Jedi Master Revan is. It's a special figure. But yep, here he is in his Darth Revan-y glory. I like the cape. You can tell the cape is tattered and frayed and ripped, and it looks like it's been through hell, and I love that about it. Functionally, here's the side-by-side. For the most part, it is the same figure. That is the big thing. It's the same thing. Obviously, color palette swaps. Actually, yeah, looking at him close, apart from the tattered robes and cape, this one doesn't have the cape, so Jedi Master Revan had no cape, and his robes are completely intact. Whereas Darth Revan has the tattered cape, and his robes are all ratty and nasty looking. Another big change is that rubber skirt front pleats being red on the Darth figure and brown on the Jedi Revan figure. And everything else, for the most part, apart from the way his... Sorry about that. Apart from his... the head, as you can tell in the Jedi Master figure, the Jedi Revan figure, he's in a constant state of looking down, whereas this one's looking forward. Yeah, I've not figured out how to get. Oh, I guess I can. There we go. I just had to lift his head. But functionally, they are exactly the same, functionally. And Darth Revan comes with 2 accessories. The first one is a red lightsaber. Now, according to the story, this is the red lightsaber he built. According to the most popular stories, this is the red lightsaber he built when he became a Sith Lord. And as you can tell by the handle is not too... it's, you know, it's plain. There's not a whole lot to it. So, you know, it doesn't look great. You know, it's not like functionally nice looking. It is nice, but because it works with the aesthetic. The other one he comes with, and this is the reason why I put this off till second. He comes with this purple. Now, according to the stories and the lore about Revan, he never wanted this one to lose its purple crystal. His original one, the first time he turned Darth, it did turn red, and he didn't want it to. I don't know what keeps happening. My video keeps cutting out, but hopefully I'll edit this fine. So his original lightsaber actually did turn red at one point, but somehow he purified it after he turned back to good, and the second time he turned dark, it stayed purple. He didn't want it to become a red saber because this signified who he was. The reason he had 2 lightsabers, one for his light, one for his dark, always fighting each other. That's how he ran. The hilt is classic Revan. It's got the scooped prongs, so near the bottom here. I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, against my forehead, you see how it scoops in, just like that. It's got a scoop in, and near the emitter is 3 prongs. You can see there. Yep. It's almost exactly the same as the Jedi Knight one. Key differences, and I'm seeing this more on the current run of Black Series figures. Compare Darth to Jedi. First thing you'll notice, the purple is a lot deeper on the Jedi one. And secondly, you can tell just by looking at it, newer figures, this happens on this one, and if you bear with me, because I also have Mr. Cal Kestis, the lightsabers I'm noticing a lot more are thicker. Like the blades are thicker. He's not getting a video, I'm just showing it out there. The blade itself, look at that though. The blade is predominantly thicker. My only theory as to why they're much thicker than the previous waves is because in package, when they're in the Black Series boxes and you pull them out, these have a tendency to warp. And yeah, I can see it right here. You can see how warped that is. Yeah, you can see them. They have a tendency to, the thinner ones have a tendency to warp. Whereas this one, I pulled it The only downside to this one is it's a little bit off-centered. To Jedi Master Revans, it's a little off. If you can see it right there. It's not dead center, but it's not the end of the world. It looks nicer, it's thicker, and it's straight for the most part. But that is what's going on with lightsabers these days. I'll pull out Cal's. Is that, you know, you have the Jaro Tapal look. It's got the broken end, but you can see that it's thick. They are thicker. The colors are more vibrant. I've got a Rey island Rey over there. I'm not going to get up again and show you, but she's got the thicker blade. That's what I think Hasbro and the Black Series is going for now, is to avoid the warping and the breaking in box, and going with the thicker blades. So, articulation-wise, you still get nothing at the head because of the rubber piece. Yeah, he can look down. That's pretty much all he can do. Universal shoulder joint. You know, it's a peg inside of a peg with a soft ratchet. You can go forward and all the way forward. You can go about that far back, outward completely. You have just above the elbow for the bicep rotation. You have under 90 degree, well, over 90 degrees. It's under 90 degrees total, but it's an over. You don't get a full 90 degree bend. That's what I'm trying to say. At the elbow and wrists, wrists can rotate, and you have that hinge joint right here. Because of the, and so also like on the Jedi Knight Revan, he has the ab rotation, the chest rotation, the ab crunch. Legs, because the skirt's in the way, he doesn't have full, and the skirt with the hanging belt, he doesn't have full range on his legs. They can only go out they can only go out probably that far before things get in the way. Though I can pull it out of the way. I like the boots too. The boots are pretty decent. He has a double jointed knee, but the top joint's hard to work. And foot you get full range on. And that's pretty much it. He's you get him in a decent pose and get him in a decent flat-footed stance, and he'll hold himself. The problem I've noticed, though, is that there's not a whole lot of good dual-wielding lightsaber poses that you can get him into, because his arms and his wrists don't really like to cooperate. I'm doing this, crossed sabers. The other one I did was bring the purple one across the chest, like so, forward and across the chest, and leaving the red one down like that, standard little thing. It doesn't take much to get the lightsaber in the hand. Works pretty well. So yeah, that is the update I wanted to put out. Having Jedi Master Revan and Darth Revan together. Like I said, most of the mold, pretty much all the molding is identical. The molding is identical, the paint is different on a lot of them. Darth Revan has the cape. Jedi Revan comes with a thicker lightsaber. It's a do what you want type of thing with the figures these days. And I'm glad that Hasbro is doing the thicker lightsabers. I think they look better. On the smaller ones, it doesn't look quite right. I mean, it gives off the Star Wars Rebels vibe with the thin ones. For those of you who watch Star Wars Rebels, they give off the thin ones. The thin ones are kind of weird looking. It's personal preference, but if you can find one, the Darth Revan at a cheap price, a decent price. Most I've seen on eBay these days is like $45 to $50. Depending on if they re-release him down the line, I'll probably pick up that one. But for now, I'm happy to have my Jedi Master Revan. I'm more light side, my buddy's more dark side. It is what it is. But to finally, get a chance to take a look at him and hold him and do all that stuff. Darth Revan's cool. So is Jedi Master Revan. It's, do with the information what you will. Make your own decisions based on what you want, not what people tell you. Should you pick him up? Absolutely. If you haven't already, definitely pick him up if you can afford to. And I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, as you're well aware, I don't go off script. I don't make a script for this. I just speak from the heart. And yeah, that's Darth Revan. Meh. And if you promise to stay frosty, I'll see you next time.